Good morning. Welcome to the AM Sports with me, Haruna Mubarak. Now, the whole Youth Resource Center heralded as the would-be hub for the production of sporting talent in the region has become an eyesore. Now, my colleague Victor Achu visited the facility and has the details in this special comprehensive report.
Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf suggested that the Youth Resource Center in Ho had been completed.
The Youth Resource Centers, 6 of them have been completed. We have commissioned 1, and we are looking for His Excellency, the President, the Vice President schedule to ensure that we commission the rest of the 5. But even last year at Akufo-Addo, that's where we held the Independence Day celebration. And those of you who were there, you saw how magnificent the place was. Very nice.
3 months before his speech, President Akufo-Addo, during the commissioning of a similar facility in Koforidua, listed the facility in Ho as among those completed by his government.
I'm glad to state here today, in the coming days, the following identical projects will also be commissioned and handed over for use in 1, Wa in the Upper West region, 2, Ho in the Volta region, 3, Axim in the Western region, 4, Doma in the Bono region, and 5, Dogwa on the Fin in the Central region.
The last of those, and I'm talking here about the President's speech, was on the 27th of December last year. It's been over 4 months since he said the Youth Resource Center in Ho had been completed. But when you check out the facility, it would appear that the President had either been misinformed or he was knowingly misinforming us. Now, he's a good man, the President, and I have no reason to doubt his intentions except to say that his account of events was not consistent with the reality on the ground. This is the Youth Resource Center here in the Volta region, Ho. Some 6 years since sod was cut for work to begin on what was supposed to be a 2.4 million Ghana cedi facility. In 2018, then Sports Minister Isaac Esiama told us that when complete, this facility was supposed to have a handball, table tennis, basketball and volleyball courts, a FIFA standard football pitch and an 8-lane athletics track. Some 6 years down the line, the facility has only seen phase 1 of projects being completed. A year ago, I joined the sports minister and a team of journalists to inspect the progress of work on this facility. That time we learned that quite a bit has changed. The sports minister told us that the initial estimate of 2.4 million Ghana cedis was only enough to cover phase 1 of the project. That was enough for us to host the Independence Day celebration. So that happened. Shortly after the Independence Day celebrations, which took place here, work stalled completely. It's been 8 months since any sort of work on this project was done. The tartan tracks have not been laid. The football pitch is only a plain surface full of weeds and not grass. The volleyball, basketball, handball courts have all not been constructed. There is no sign of when work on this project is going to resume. But what is the extent of the neglect? Left at the mercy of rainfall, humidity and sunshine, the once bright seats are beginning to discolor. If I didn't know better, I could be forgiven for mistaking these seats to be old, but they were installed a little over a year ago. Also lying unattended to is what is supposed to be the tartan tracks. What you see is just painted concrete that is beginning to develop cracks. Last month, a rainstorm decimated the main gates, parts of the roof, the glass door, and other parts of the facility. Despite being owed in excess of 13 million Ghana cedis, the contractors moved to construct a new gate for the facility. The decimated glass doors have, however, not been replaced. When I spoke to the National Youth Authority's Chief Executive Officer, Pius Ajide, he could not clarify when work on the facility would resume.
Who is still work in progress. believe that when financial releases are made, we have spoken to the contractors, they remain committed, and they have assured us that when we settle our indebtedness to them, these outstanding issues that you are talking to can quickly be addressed. And in the specific case of Ho, yes, I can admit that there are some of the other sporting facilities that have delayed.
When I reached out to the District Assembly's Common Fund for a response on this matter, its administrator, Natoshi, said they were waiting for payments from the Ministry of Finance. To quote her, she said, "Once we receive and pay districts, then we can look at all others. Our first obligation, as per the Constitution of Ghana, is the districts. After that, we can look at other obligations," she said. So it is fair to deduce from her explanation that despite the president's assurances, the Youth Resource Center was not a priority as far as the DACF was concerned. The National Youth Authority was set up in 2016 by an Act of Parliament, Act 939, I believe. Now that Act stipulates that funding, the main source of funding for the operations of the authority shall be from the District Assembly's Common Fund, up to 5% of that. Beyond that, the other sources of income for the authority are funds that are approved by Parliament itself, return on investments made by the authority itself, grants and donations, or other monies that may be approved by the Finance Minister. So it's hard to imagine where money will come from for the NYA to be able to complete the projects, given the inertia of the DACF. For now, though, the NYA has no choice but to play the waiting game.
In the formula that Parliament approves, and in the wisdom of the administration of the DACF, alternative arrangements have been made, and those have been approved by Parliament according to the disbursement formula as approved by Parliament. Regrettably, however, from December of 2022, the last quarter of 2022, up till now, the National Youth Authority is yet to receive any of its quarterly allocations. The DACF itself is also in arrears, that it is yet to receive funding.
When the project was progressing steadily, the NYA started engaging private entities over possibly leasing the managing rights of the assets to them. That, like construction works on the facility, has stopped.
Yes, and we have started the processes. We have advertised because we have to go through the public procurement methods.
Aren't you getting ahead of yourself? The facilities are not ready, and you're
that's why we have had to pull the brakes on the on that exercise.
Okay.
But we were hoping to walk and chew gum at the same time. We were hopeful that funding was going to be timely and enough, and that we were going to be able to complete on schedule. But we didn't want to complete and then take yet another long time to look for competitive and competent facility managers. So we thought that we could walk and chew gum at the same time.
4 months before this interview with Pius, the president had given assurances that monies will be made available for these projects to be completed.
I've been informed about the challenges facing the remaining 4 stadium and auxiliary facilities. Kalechi in the Greater Accra region, Navrongo in the Upper East region, Yendi in the Northern region, and Yurihini in the Ashanti region. I have prioritized the completion of these facilities, and therefore requesting the Minister of Finance and the District Assembly Common Fund to allocate the necessary funds to the National Youth Authority in accordance with Act 939 to ensure the timely completion of these legacy projects.
Yet, here we are with the facilities wasting away 6 years and 177 million cedis later. In the case of Ho, there is a small matter of a 13 million cedi debt waiting to be cleared before work resumes.
We have had conversations with the management of the DACF. We are also speaking to the Minister of Finance. We are very assured that very soon releases will be made to us. The total cost of the projects, the 10 projects, are around 342 million.
342 million.
For the 10 projects. We have made payments of around 177 million, which means that there is an outstanding of around 165 million to complete the facilities.
There's no telling when work will resume on this project, or when the Sports Ministry will be able to persuade the contractor, Akufo-Addo Construction, to move equipment and staff back onto site and to finish what they started. But what we do know is that the facility is wasting away. For Joy Sports, Victor Achuta-Maklu.
That's your sports. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Thanks for watching.